Hi, this is Kenneth, and I'm here with Maki. And Maki is going to be asking me some questions, and this will also be an opportunity to provide some updates on what's happening with AREALM Chat. So do you want to get started?
Yeah, so what are we working on with AREALM Chat at the moment?
Sure. So one of the things that we're working on, we can't really talk a lot about yet because it's not finalized, but we're working on a white labeled version of AREALM with another company that makes tabletop slash board games slash settings for role playing games. So that's kind of exciting if it goes through, and we'll keep you guys up to date as more becomes clear on that topic.
What kind of new things can we expect either from the partnership or from a new updated version of AREALM Chat?
Sure. One of the things to be anticipating is that we'll be cleaning up and improving the UX a little bit. Something that we've been working on our end is kind of reevaluating our kind of UX to optimize it a little more. And we have a game UX person that's helping us with a minor overhaul on that end.
Cool. And in terms of dungeon masters, what does this mean for them?
Sure. One of the things that we want to keep in mind with Dungeon Masters is that we worked with Dungeon Masters initially as a way to kind of help QA test our game. And another thing that we did was we also had a program where we were trying to sponsor Dungeon Masters to kind of put up videos on YouTube. That's on hold a little bit, but we still have plans for our Dungeon Master community on Discord. A lot of this is going to be a slight reorientation, and I'm going to go through why we're doing this, also from a business perspective. For our mobile game, we're going to be working on something where dungeon masters that we're working with will be able to create experiences in the real world. And this is going to be something where the experiences can be tied in a way that's like a quest, where you can send people into a park and to a specific location where it activates a quest. And then it can branch off where you can direct people to go to different waypoints for a quest. Effectively, you can think of it as a one shot in the real world that dungeon masters will be able to create. And this is important for us because something that we were running into previously was this idea of how do we make experiences more scalable. Our initial thought was, hey, if we get dungeon masters to kind of share their experiences on YouTube, we might be able to get something where people discover our game, and eventually we'll be able to kind of create a business out of this. What we're thinking now is that if we can get dungeon masters to help us create experiences, we can kind of scale up real world tabletop RPG like experiences. And additionally, this is going to be scalable to more users, where eventually for a business model, we'll have more revenue that we'll be able to split and potentially share with our dungeon masters if we can get a revenue monetization strategy working on that end. This will also allow us to potentially also have more resources to restart our YouTube program for AREALM Chat, where we were sponsoring one shots effectively and a few campaigns using the software that we're seeing here.
Cool. So in terms of timeline, what can we expect in terms of like AREALM Chat and Mobile?
Sure. On the chat side, we have some redesign and skins that we're working on as we speak. If this partnership with this other RPG board game type company goes through, we'll be updating on that maybe within the next month. There's still negotiations happening on that point, so it's the timeline is a little bit out of our control. On the mobile front, we're working on a demo as we speak. In terms of the actual experience, they're going to be location specific. But if any DMs are interested in collaborating with us, we're open to trying to create experiences in collaboration with some of the DMs in our community before our UGC type tools are complete. So that would effectively mean a situation where we tell you, hey, there's like these couple statues around LA. We're thinking of making a little quest around it. What type of monsters are you thinking? What type of NPCs are you thinking relative in position to these statues? And how do you think this experience might be able to play out? And we'll be co-creating a few demo experiences on that mobile side in that manner. I don't know if that answered your question, but if not, feel free to ask a follow-up.
Yeah, so for the mobile version, so you said it was location specific. Is that just for now, like in LA, or could people from like DMs from kind of anywhere help with that process?
Sure. Our first experience is going to be at this specific location in LA. But what's going to eventually happen is for certain key points of interest all around the world, we'll be able to have DMs kind of create scenarios based off of these unique locations. And so it'll be all around the world eventually. Initially, it's just going to be primarily LA and some co-creation because we kind of have to create some of the tools that a dungeon master might have in a virtual tabletop. But imagine this with basically the entire world.
Hmm.
The same way that you might have dropped monsters in our app on AREALM Chat or other VTT services, this is something we're looking to transfer to the real world. Yeah, but the timeline for that is a little bit unknown because we're still building out some of this technology and working on a demo. I guess my final comment is if you want to try to help co-create some initial experiences with us that we're experimenting on, feel free to hit me up or Maki. Until then, if you have any future questions, feel free to ask. Bye.